unbeatable prices.
And financing on the best terms. Terms you can trust. Like right now when you buy, there's no money down, no interest, and no payments until September 2006.
Rooms to Go actually pays our interest for 24 months.
There's no second thoughts, no worries.
No reason to shop anywhere else.
Rooms to Go just makes it easy.
$10,000 minimum for any trade-in during the Labor Day blowout at Fairbanks Chrysler Jeep Dodge Sawgrass. $10,000 minimum no matter what shape your trade is in. And exclusive of that, new 2004 Dodge Ram pickups, $169 a month. New 2004 Jeep Liberties, $79 a month. And both are equipped the way you want them. This event is going on now, but the absolute deadline is Labor Day at midnight at Fairbanks Chrysler Jeep Dodge Sawgrass.
Watch the Fantasy 5 drawing weeknights on CBS 4 News at 11, your lottery station.
Good morning, I'm Harry Smith at Madison Square Garden in New York, where one of the biggest new stars of the Republican Party, Arnold Schwarzenegger, rocked the house last night. We'll have complete convention coverage.
I'm Renee Seiler. Storm-ravaged Florida is bracing for yet another potentially devastating hurricane as Category 4 Francis gets set to strike. We'll get the latest from the National Hurricane Center.
I'm Hannah Storm. There's a dramatic hostage siege at a school in Russia. Hundreds of people, including some 200 children, are being held by gunmen. We'll have a report.
And I'm Julie Chen in Los Angeles, where I'll talk to Olympic gold medal winning gymnast Carly Patterson, just back from Athens early this Wednesday morning, September 1st, 2004.
From CBS News, Harry Smith, Hannah Storm, Julie Chen, Renee Seiler, and Dave Price with the weather bring you The Early Show.
Starting up a brand new day.
Live from Fifth Avenue in New York City.
Thinking in a brand new way.
New day is dawning. Good morning and welcome to The Early Show.
And as you can see, we've got a split show this morning. We've got the country covered. Julie in Los Angeles, Harry down at Madison Square Garden for day 3 of the Republican National Convention. Good morning. Hi, Harry.
Morning, everybody. Let's get right to the news this morning. President Bush arrives in New York today after being officially nominated for a second term here at the convention last night. It was a night where the First Lady helped set the tone and a former actor turned governor of California stirred up the delegates. CBS News White House correspondent Bill Plant is here at the Garden with more. Good morning, Bill.
Good morning to you, Harry. Boy, did he stir them up. Former movie action hero and current California Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger proclaimed himself proud to be a Republican. And he urged everybody to join him under the Republican tent, even if, like him, they don't necessarily agree with the party on every single issue.
I believe that's not only okay, but that's what's great about this country. Here we can respectfully disagree and still be patriotic, still be American, and still be good Republicans.
Republicans, said Schwarzenegger, have faith in free enterprise and the U.S. economy. And for those who don't,
I say, don't be economic girly man.
Then a rare appearance by the president's twin daughters, Barbara and Jenna.
We spent the last 4 years trying to stay out of the spotlight. Sometimes we did a little better job than others.
They introduced their dad live via satellite from the campaign trail at a softball game in Pennsylvania.
You make me so very proud. Tonight I have the best and easiest job of this convention, introducing our First Lady.
The First Lady described what she called her husband's agonizing decisions leading to war. And she said that he can be counted on in a crisis.
These are times that require an especially strong and determined leader. And I'm proud that my husband is that kind of leader.
Out on the campaign trail, the president backtracked on his statement that the war on terror can't be won and repeated himself in a telephone interview with the Rush Limbaugh show.
This is not the kind of war where you sit down and sign a peace treaty. But it's a totally different kind of war. But we will win it. Your listeners have got to know that I know we'll win it.
Now, the president gets to town tonight, but he doesn't speak till tomorrow. The big speaker tonight, the vice president, who can be expected, I think, to take a couple of shots, as vice presidents traditionally do, at the opposition. Harry?
All right, Bill Plant with us here in the Garden this morning. Thank you. Outside the convention, mass arrests. Nearly 1,000 protesters were arrested by New York police yesterday after blocking streets. Police used some orange netting to try to control the demonstrations. There were no reports of injuries. Now for the rest of the day's news, let's go back to Julie.
All right, thanks a lot, Harry. A very dangerous Hurricane Francis is on a path to hammer the southeastern U.S. Francis is currently off the Bahamas, packing 140-mile-per-hour winds. In Florida, people are already taking steps to protect their homes. This morning, Jack Bevan, hurricane specialist at the National Hurricane Center, told me when he predicts Francis will hit.
If the storm follows our forecast track, we expect it to make landfall up on the east central Florida coast in a little more than 72 hours. Now, the storm is approaching the coast at a somewhat oblique angle, and if it moves a little to the left of our forecast track, it could come in much further south in Florida and much faster as early as Friday.
So it sounds like right now is the time to prepare, no?
That's correct, and people in Florida should be preparing for this storm, getting the supplies that they need, making sure their shutters and plywood are functioning properly, making sure they know what to do if they live in an evacuation zone and they're ordered to go. We will probably be issuing watches and warnings for parts of the Florida coast later today or tonight, and when that happens, there will be some evacuation orders given.
How dangerous do you expect Francis to be?
Well, right now it is a Category 4 hurricane on the Saffir-Simpson hurricane scale with winds of 140 miles per hour. It has some potential to get stronger. We do anticipate that it'll be a strong Category 4 hurricane when it gets near the Florida Peninsula, and there is even an outside chance it could get the Category 5 status. Certainly not impossible.
Jack Bevan from the National Hurricane Center. Thank you.
Thank you.
Meanwhile, the latest storm in Richmond, Virginia has left behind a disaster. 5 people were killed by Tropical Storm Gaston after as much as 14 inches of rain fell. Especially hard hit, the city's historic downtown. As we noted, there is a tense hostage standoff at a school in Russia this morning, and the attackers are threatening to blow up the school and the hostages, including as many as 200 children. CBS News correspondent Richard Roth reports.
Running for their lives and terrified, a handful of children and a few of their teachers slipped away from their school in southern Russia, as hostage takers were still holding several hundred more inside. This was the first day of classes. The gunmen stormed a school-wide assembly, and several people were killed in the chaos that followed. Some of the attackers wear suicide bomb belts. They claim the building's booby-trapped, and they've put small children at windows as a warning in case Russian security forces are considering a shootout. The school's in a region bordering Chechnya, and the terrorists are said to be demanding freedom for rebel fighters held by Russia. Terror fears could hardly be higher throughout the country. The government now believes the twin crashes of 2 commercial jets 1 week ago was a suicide attack by 2 women from Chechnya. And so was an explosion outside a Moscow metro station just yesterday, which killed 10 people and injured more than 50. With the crisis at the school, President Putin's rushed back to Moscow, with one of his top officials now saying war has begun. Richard Roth, CBS News, London.
Here in California, a scent found by a search dog could provide important evidence in the Scott Peterson murder trial. CBS News correspondent John Blackstone reports.
In the search for Lacey Peterson, volunteer dog handler Eloise Anderson helped hunt for clues. She told the jury in Scott Peterson's double murder trial that a lab named Tremble picked up Lacey's scent on a boat ramp at the Berkeley Marina, exactly where Scott said he went fishing the day Lacey disappeared. The scent ended at the water's edge.
If the jury believes the dog tracking evidence, it certainly puts Lacey Peterson at the Berkeley Marina. Does this damage the defense? Certainly it does, if you buy into this.
In a double murder case with little hard evidence, the trail found by the tracking dog could be crucial, suggesting Lacey's body was in Scott's boat when he launched it. But defense attorney Pat Harris suggested Lacey's scent could have been carried to the ramp on Peterson, and he challenged the scientific validity of dog tracking.
This is going to be a battle of scientists, a battle of experts. How scientific are the dogs? Can they really scent one person over another? The dogs can't be witnesses, so they can't get on the stand and say, you know, the scent I picked up was absolutely Lacey's.
Judge Alfred DeLucchi has already disallowed some dog tracking evidence, calling it iffy at best. John Blackstone, CBS News, San Francisco.
In sports, the Bronx Bombers got bombed last night. Cleveland went into Yankee Stadium and beat